Hi guys, Ricky Pope here, and this is going to be a little bit different Christian Nerds Unite podcast than usual. I am feeling very under the weather right now. I have been suffering with some rheumatoid arthritis issues that are brand new to me, and on top of that, I managed to get COVID. And so I didn't want to leave you high and dry without a podcast. So rather than making this a bonus episode, I decided to make it a regular episode. I'm going to play for you episode 1.5 of our Marvel's Multiverse role-playing game playtest Real Play. I have two special guests on that episode. I've got Lucas Pinkard from the Reverend and the Reprobate podcast, and my good friend Mike Schilling from the Speaking Nerdy podcast. Well, I hope you enjoy this episode, and if you do, definitely go check out part 1 and part 2 of the first episode of our Real Play with some other guests that we had, and go check that out. And then here in the next week or two, I will release the second episode where we complete our journey. Well, that's all for now. I hope you enjoy this episode. 2022 is flying by so fast, and I just reviewed my goals for the year. It's not too late to set some effective goals for 2022 for yourself. And the Goal Process 101 ebook helps you do just that. With a straightforward process and practical exercises, you'll be guided to set the right goals for you and set out a plan to achieve them. Get your copy of the Goal Process 101 ebook by going to goalprocess101.com. Use CNU2022 at checkout to save 10%. Now, back to the show. Welcome to the Christian Nerds Unite podcast, Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, playtest, the thing. This is episode 1.5?
1.5.
Wow.
Man.
1.5, I think.
We're not good enough.
That's what we're going to call this.
We're not good enough to be 2, but we're between 1 and 2. So that's my life. Okay, good.
So yeah, I'd rather 1.5 than be an addendum.
Yes, that's a good.
Yes,
exactly.
So for those who tuned in last time, you might remember that Mike was indisposed and was not able to be with us, and Lucas actually had to leave before the action really got started.
Yep.
So real quick, guys, let's introduce yourself. Tell us your name. Tell us, what your podcast is and where people can find you. Just real fast. Let's Lucas, you go first.
Yeah, so I'm Lucas Pinkard. I am the host of the Reverend and the Reprobate. My co-host Dan Gibson, you heard on the last episode. But you can find us at reverendrep.com or Reverend Rep podcast on Twitter, and I think just about everything else.
And who are you playing?
I am playing as Rocket Raccoon.
Awesome. And Mike, tell us who you are, who you're playing,
who I am,
and where people can find you.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you can find me right here, right now. And my name is Mike Schilling. I am the host of the Speaking Nerdy podcast. And, of course, Mr. Ricky Pope, who's here, is my co-host. And we do our thing every Friday night, between 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you like BACTA, no, we won't mention BACTA on this show. It's something we did last night. And if you want to catch everything we have, our audio podcast that comes out on Tuesday, you can go to speakingnerdy.com. Yes, you might even get your free bottle of BACTA. So anyhow.
And who are you playing today?
I'm playing Captain America with his many versatile shields. He's... Yes.
No one can. Everyone must yield before his mighty shield.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
Are you familiar with that song, Lucas?
I am, unfortunately.
I didn't have the floppy ears.
Everyone must yield.
Yes.
Okay, so I am Ricky Pope, the host of Christian Nerds Unite, and as Mike said, I also co-host with him on Speaking Nerdy, and I am going to be the narrator for those who missed last time. The Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. If you've ever played a role-playing game before, you may have heard the term GM, Game Master, or DM, Dungeon Master. Marvel has made the decision to call this person the narrator.
The narrator.
And as I said last time, they missed an opportunity to call him the Watcher. But as Lucas pointed out, possibly that the Watcher could be a playable character. So maybe that's why they made that decision. So interesting thought. But we're going to get rolling here. And before we go too far, Mike, you had a interesting question before we started. Mike was looking at his character sheet.
I am looking at
noticed
my character sheet right there. I can't get in front of the camera. Yes, there you go. So,
and he mentioned one of his powers was shield. What does it say? Shield 4?
Shield 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have other powers besides a shield. That's nice to know. I should have done my research. So what was
your
deal?
Question?
Well, I am apparently, I guess we're cheating, and I am if I'm not mistaken, I'm rank 15. I guess are we starting at those ranks? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
We are playing pre-built characters that have already ranked up to whatever level.
Okay.
And when you're building characters for this game, that is one of the things that the book talks about.
Okay.
It talks about, as you are, as you're designing your story, as you're, if you're building characters from scratch, that the narrator should make some decisions on what level everybody's characters should start at.
Gotcha.
Which is a little different than other role-playing games have that feature built in, that ability, but a lot of them are really designed with the idea of you start at level 1 and you gradually work your way up.
Gotcha.
There's a couple of places in this playtest that almost assume you're not going to start at level 1. Most of them assume you're going to start somewhere higher than that. Otherwise, you really wouldn't be a superhero.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So we're starting with pre-built characters this time, and we have talked some discussion about seeing about playing again once we've kind of completed this little scenario that we're doing now. And building characters from scratch.
Okay.
And I think that would be fun. I think we would probably start with lower characters, but everybody that's playing right now is playing either a character that is level 15 or level 10.
Okay.
And so, Mike, you mentioned that you had shield 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yes.
So here's the deal. If you were... ranking a character up little by little, you would start at shield 1, and that you would only have the shield 1 abilities.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Because last time, Storm, Ashley Cox asked a very similar question.
Yeah.
Because she had something that said there was a prerequisite. And so this is similar.
Okay.
So you have already ranked up to shield 4.
Oh, well, there you go. More to choose from.
When you use your shield, you are using shield 4. You're going to get that ability.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I think if you look at them closely,
yes,
basically shield 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all basically the same, but each one kind of builds on.
Okay.
It's a little better version of the last one.
Gotcha.
So if you were starting at a lower level, you might only get shield 1.
Okay. Yeah.
But then as you ranked up, you could build, you could stack it. So now you've got shield 2.
Yeah.
But you had to have shield 1 to get shield 2.
Get the next one, the progression.
So it works like that. Does that kind of help explain that?
Yeah.
Okay.
From my video game experience, I can.
Yeah, that checks out, Ricky.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, and as we talked about last time, we are going to kind of be explaining the game a little bit as we go along, because neither of these guys have ever fought in combat in this game system. Now, just real quick, Mike, what kind of role-playing game experience have you had?
None.
Okay.
Well, I mean, except for on a game or something like that, digitally,
like video
game as RPG, which I know that is probably the noob compared to the paper pen group out there. I'm kind of ostracized, but anyhow.
And then Lucas, tell us a little bit about your role playing game history, because the last time we were on, the majority of everyone was just like Mike. This was their first real experience with a role-playing game.
Yeah. So I've played obviously lots of RPG video games. I run a group where we do the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle Earth, which is app-based, which is really cool. So you don't have to have a DM, which I've really enjoyed because my first playthrough of that I actually did as a single player. Because you can do that. The same thing with the new Star Wars Assault game. They just created an app for that. It came out last year, so I was able to do some of that stuff as well, which allows me, especially whenever I do a lot of work with students and trying to get them into like social situations. And so we do things like, play games and those kind of things. And that really helps from my end, from being able to kind of play test the game. So I've done that. I've had a very, very, very brief experience with some D&D stuff with a group of people that I hung out with when I was a missionary in Canada. And they made me super overpowered, which was great for the 2 times that I got to sit in with them. Believe it or not, they let me be a Viking with a hammer that controlled electricity, which is something that Ricky told me I wasn't allowed to be in this game. So it was crazy. I was a little offended by it, but I felt
it makes you glad that he's in Facebook jail. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's where he belongs.
Yeah,
thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, I had to, while he was talking, I had to have he mentioned Star Wars, and I have to mention my all-time RPG is Knights of the Old Republic. The old school. That's it. If I have to, and I'm excited about them doing the remake of it. Anyway, that's done. That's not why we're here. But go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So let's kind of plow into this now.
Okay,
when we left it. Captain America had not shown up yet.
Right.
And we weren't sure exactly where he was. We just knew he wasn't going to be able to help immediately.
Yes.
Rocket, you were standing in front of the Howard and Maria Stark Center for Galactic History because Alfred had said there was a message for you all at the Avengers Mansion. And Tony Stark came on screen and said that you guys needed to go over there now.
Did Alfred tell us that, or did Jarvis?
Or Jarvis, sorry.
I was
Alfred.
confused. We're going DC.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. I want to change my character now. I'm ready. I'm going to play Batman. Can we do that?
I am really tempted to see, can we create DC characters using this system?
Oh, yeah. I call Dr. Fate.
There we go.
So yes, I'm sorry, Jarvis, old school Jarvis, actual real person in the old school mansion, said there was a message for you all from Tony Stark, and Tony Stark sent you to the Howard and Maria Stark Center for Galactic History because something was going on, and you were told that there were hostages. You don't know how many. Yeah. And you actually don't know that there are any. But you were told there were. You know that Hydra has taken over the building. And Rocket, you are standing outside the building right now.
Yeah, because everybody else left me.
Everyone else left you on the ground and went to the roof.
On my suggestion, they went to the roof and they left me.
Oh, that's
in the parking
nice.
lot.
Yeah.
Everyone left you there with the police presence.
Yes.
So that is kind of where we left it.
Well, now where was I at? I mean, I have to have a backstory. I mean, was I in my apartment with my shield making stir fry? I mean, that's
that is the next thing.
You and Peggy Carter had to watch the grandkids.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
So
darlings.
So you received the message from Tony Stark as well.
Yes.
But he knew it was going to take you a lot longer to get there because of where you were.
Yes.
He really figured that the team needed some major leadership and wanted you to be there.
Yeah.
But all he had access to right now were 4 people who weren't actually Avengers yet.
Yes.
A teenage Spider-Man who wants to be an Avenger and shows up at the Avengers mansion every day, hoping to join.
Yeah.
Storm, who was looking for some information, and then Rocket and Groot, who were trying to get back into space, hoping that Tony Stark might be able to help them.
He was useless.
So now you are just showing up, and you run into there's a large police presence.
Yes.
They've surrounded the building, and you've been told these things that I just told you just now.
Okay.
The last thing that the policeman that's in charge, he seems to be in charge, says to you is, they have this really weird. They only have one demand.
Yes.
They want us to dress the Statue of Liberty in a Hydra uniform.
Oh, that's sacrilegious. Okay.
Yeah, they wanted in Hydra drapes, I think is what we determined last time.
Which seems really odd. And just at that moment, you hear somebody yell out from the building, "Hail Hydra!"
Now, is there a name of this building? You know, like, we have
the name of the building? What?
Go ahead. The
name of the building? Mm-hmm. It is the Howard and Maria Stark Center for Galactic History.
I was wondering if John McClane was going to be in there. So, okay.
He's in the vents.
Okay.
So you are both on the floor. You are basically at the front door. Mm-hmm. You see Rocket standing there.
Yes.
Rocket, you notice Captain America walking up toward the door.
That is the kind of thing I would notice.
Yes. What do you do, both of you?
I say, "Hey, what's up, man?"
What's going on? I thought all of you guys were busy.
I was back at the apartment watching some kids.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, so what are we going to do here? I mean, the cop from Die Hard over here is telling me we got a thing going up there, and I only have a shield, so what's our next move?
I don't know. Now that Mr. Winslow has directed us to the first floor while everybody else went up, what are our options? We've got, it looks like the front doors, but that seems obvious. Yes. What are other points of entry for us?
Is there elevators? Are there stairs? Are there little tunnels?
Is there a basement?
You don't know a whole lot about the building.
Okay.
But through the front doors are glass.
Oh,
so
okay.
Through the front doors, you can see this.
Oh.
You can see a large room.
Yes.
And each of these little pedestals houses basically a light sculpture that is it looks like a star map. Each one looks like a little star map. And then up at the front you see like a welcome kiosk. At the back you can tell there's an elevator directly across the room. It looks like there's probably some stairs over to the left, and they look like they are going up from the going up from here to the second floor. And then you can tell there are rooms to the right and rooms to the left.
Okay, so how do we have the element of surprise? That's what we want to do.
You notice in this immediate room, you notice there are no Hydra agents.
Yes.
But you have seen someone stick their head out the second floor.
The second floor.
Yelling at you, yelling Hail Hydra from time to time.
Oh, I mean at us or
just kind of in general.
Okay,
like,
so they haven't seen us yet.
Well, it's unclear as to whether they have actually seen you.
So this is what we're going to find out. Okay. Okay.
So what would you like to do? There is a basement to this building.
Yes.
And I'll figure out how to get you into the basement if you really want to get into the basement.
Well, we bring the whole building down. That would end the game, so we could go down to the basement and take out these columns and all this super. Yeah, I mean,
I think that works. I mean, everybody upstairs can fly or something.
Yeah.
So they'll figure it out.
And if they can't, they really shouldn't even be an Avenger.
Right. Yeah, and plus you covered up Maria Stark's death anyway, so what do you care if her building stands?
I don't really care. So anyhow, so strategically, I mean, we have no cameras. I mean, I'm covering all my bases here. This is what I would do if I was getting ready to come in. So is there any cameras? Would we know, Mr. DM?
You don't have access to the cameras.
But
there are cameras, yeah.
There are cameras in the building, but you don't have access to them. Now, you do notice, the kiosk at the front desk does have some monitors.
Yes.
So
but there's nobody there.
But there's nobody there.
Yeah.
So it's possible that they're, if you investigated that, you might see something.
I think that'd be a great idea.
You'd have to go into the building to find out.
Okay. So are they locked? The door is locked, or do I use...
The doors are not locked. They are wide open, unlocked if you want to go in.
Okay. Oh, these are just regular Hydra. This is Hydra Bob running this operation.
So we're going to spend 5 hours not even going into the building. That's what I love about this game.
Yeah, no kidding.
By the time we come out with our plan, everybody is dead, and that's really what it's all about.
You've got your shield. I've got plenty of guns. Let's go through the front
let's
door.
Just go in.
There.
We'll just go through the front door, I guess. And so
So as you enter the front door, you do.
Are these push doors or pull doors?
Or are the ones that open up? The one I usually at grocery stores act like I have the Jedi mind trick.
They're automated doors.
Okay.
They just slide open right for you.
In that case, I'm beside Cap and not behind him.
Okay.
So the doors slide open and you walk in.
Yeah.
You do see the kiosk there at the front desk.
Yes.
Right.
And you do notice there are some security camera monitors there at the desk. And you could check those out if you want. You do notice you see where the number 5 is? You do notice that there's a small hallway there with some doors. You see the brown little rectangles? Pretty much every time you see a brown rectangle, that is some kind of door.
Gotcha.
So like there's one door here. This is a room. There's one door here. You can tell that's a room. Without going into them, you can't tell if that's one room with 2 doors or what. But so there's 2 doors here. There's a door here, and you see that there's several doors down this hallway.
See. Now,
there's the elevators, and then there's the stairs.
Now, I was figuring.
So what would you like to do?
Well, I always figure since I was born, I was born in the 1920s, and I don't know much about technology. Maybe Rocket should look at the monitors and see what's going on there.
Yeah, I'll check out the monitors. I think it's a good plan.
And then I'll kind of just cover him, make sure nobody sneaks in from the elevator or the staircase.
Okay.
Perfect.
You don't notice anything unusual right now, Captain. And Rocket, this is one of the things where it is narrator discretion.
Yes.
I can decide if it's really easy.
Yes.
Or if it's something that's hard that needs to be rolled for.
Yeah.
So for this, I'm going to say that this is something fairly easy for Rocket to figure out. I'm not going to worry about him rolling.
Yeah.
So Rocket, you are able to quickly, decipher what's going on with the cameras. You notice almost immediately they're labeled first floor, second floor, and third floor. One thing you do notice is that the third floor cameras aren't working.
That's not helpful.
However, the first floor and the second floor cameras are working. And you, looking at the first floor, you are now able to see each room.
But I can't see what's happening with the rest of our team.
You can't see everybody else. At this point, they are probably still on the roof.
Okay.
And you probably hear some noise, but that's all right now. You're not quite sure what the noise is. You just know there's definitely noise from upstairs.
Gotcha.
But probably at this point, they're probably still on the still on the roof.
Gotcha. Are those urinals in the women's bathroom as well? In number 4?
Those would be.
Yes,
it's very inclusive. I like that. That was well done.
That's a new America for Captain America. Yes.
Oh my goodness!
Man.
I am going to have to message Matt about this. I actually have gotten to know the gentleman who wrote this the rule book.
Yeah.
And I will have to mention to him that there are urinals.
That's
in
awesome.
the women's
Nice.
bathroom. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you're able to see this. The first thing that you notice is that on this floor there are no Hydra agents.
No.
Okay. Now, what you also see is you are able to see, because you have access to the cameras.
And I'm using my
the
augmented intelligence.
You are able to see the second floor as well.
Yeah.
And here is where things change.
Yes.
You do notice there are Hydra agents milling around in various places throughout the second floor.
Okay.
There's a couple here in the main room. There's a couple here in what appears to be like a break room.
Yes.
And then you see a couple that are in this office over here.
Yes.
You see where the number 11 is?
Yes.
The office right below that. You notice there are a couple there, and they seem to be rifling through papers and messing with computers, and like they're looking for something.
Gotcha.
Okay, so is this 6 total that we've got in here?
There, you can see 6.
Okay.
That's all you can see. And then, like I said, the third floor is blacked out.
Okay.
You're not sure why.
Yeah.
It's not like they're covered. It's like they were completely disconnected or something.
So are they armed? Are they agents?
You can tell they're all armed.
Okay.
They don't. None of them appear to be
Like any body armor or anything like that?
No fancy body armor.
Okay.
And none of them appear to be overly. They're not paying a whole lot of attention.
Does anybody seems like they're the officer
the guys in
charge here?
The guys in the break room keep yelling out the windows.
Yeah.
For some unknown reason, they just
yeah.
keep yelling "Hail Hydra."
Yeah.
The guys over here definitely look like they're busy looking for something. And then the guys out here, they're probably the most diligent.
We have a plan. We're going to go back.
Okay.
We're going to look at that. Go ahead.
Before you go on with your plan,
Yes.
I am going to ask Lucas
Yes.
to roll. And just as a reminder, every time you roll in this game,
Yes.
you roll 3 6-sided dice.
3, 6.
And with one of them set aside that you know is your Marvel die.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll, and I want you to roll based on your logic. So you're going to be able, whatever you roll, you're going to be able to add your logic modifier.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So what did you roll? First of all, did you get a 1 on the Marvel die?
I did get a 1 on the Marvel die.
You did? Okay.
Yeah,
did you get a
this is my roll.
6?
I got a 6-1-5.
Oh.
Okay, great. Okay, so that means something a little extra happens here.
Oh, nice.
I love being a little extra. That's my whole personality is built around that.
You notice these 2 guys that are in the break room.
Mm-hmm.
You notice something a little unusual there. You notice that they have broken into the vending machines. Mm-hmm. And you notice that they are getting lots and lots of drinks.
Okay.
More drinks than you would think were needed for the 6 people that you see on this floor. Okay. So you're not sure exactly what that means, but they are definitely gathering more food and drinks than the 6 people that you're seeing.
So they're either greedy or there's more people that we are unaware of. Potentially on the 3rd floor.
That is possible.
There you go.
Okay. So now that you know that, where are we going from here?
Well, I think we go back to the first floor. Let's take a look at the first floor where we're at.
Okay. All right. So we are on this floor, and you know that you are alone on this floor. So where are you going to
Mike, you were right about those stairs in number 2, but they look like they go down.
Okay.
Where?
Yeah.
These stairs go down to the basement.
Oh, okay. Well,
you had asked about a basement earlier. The map actually doesn't show a way to get into the basement.
Okay.
But if you were bound and determined, I would have probably given you a basement door on the outside of the building somewhere.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this goes down. These stairs over here, however, do go up. So it's assumed that would go to the 2nd floor. No. And there are also elevators. They appear to be working properly.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
as far as you know.
Yeah. Now, Lucas had a good idea. The constellations. I mean, of course, he was made a good observation that for a museum, there's not a whole lot of stuff in the museum. Does the constellations, as we look at it, does they have any meaning to it that may help us?
There are recognizable constellations for people who are astronomers.
Yes.
They don't seem to have any extra meaning necessarily.
Okay.
And keep in mind, what you do know about this building is it's not a museum.
Oh, okay.
Although they call it the Center for Galactic History.
Okay.
You know that it's more of a research and study facility. Although this does kind of come off as museum like because of the light sculptures, but
right.
But there's a lot more that goes on in this building than just you don't know exactly.
Okay.
You just know that more goes on in this building. It's not just a museum. People actually work and study the stars, and they try to see. You don't know all of it, but you just know they do a whole lot of study about space and the things like that.
Now, how about the security office, number 6? Is there more cameras? Is there any intel in there we could use?
If you're going to go into room number 6,
I don't know. Rocket, what do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go into room number 6, and then I want to check out the tiny room after that. There's like a sliver of a room on 5. That's got me intrigued. Yeah. All right, but we're going into 6.
You go into room number 6. You do notice there are larger security camera monitors. Obviously, this is the main security room for the building. One thing you do still see, you notice that everything that's labeled floor 3 is still blacked out. So there's no real help there. You do notice some other desks that appear to be like, these are probably the patrol officers, the guys that wander the campus.
Gotcha.
Their desks. Nothing too strange there. You basically just notice that the monitors are larger in here than they are up front. Up front, they were little tiny monitors. Up here, they're really big monitors. You can now tell what kind of drinks these guys are getting. Rather than just telling they are getting drinks.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You can tell that they are all armed. They do all appear to have one gun each. So you can see a little bit more.
Now you're saying we know what kind of drinks they're drinking. Now, what is that? What brand is there?
Yeah.
Is there something specific there?
They are drinking Jolt Cola, and you're not
Jolt.
sure why.
Wow.
Seems a little unusual that this building would be, that Jolt would be the major drink, but that is what it is.
What color?
So
That's about all you find in this room.
Yeah, I'd have gone for the tab. There's not a security badge or something that's lying around in there that one of the officers left in haste, is there?
No, and here's why.
Okay.
This is something that they did tell you at the front. This is something that maybe, Lucas, you might not remember from last time, and Michael, sure. I didn't mention it to you. When Hydra arrived,
yes,
the building was technically closed.
Yeah, that's right.
It was after hours.
Gotcha.
So
there may be no hostages.
This is the other reason why the police officers say they're telling us they have hostages, but we don't know.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's totally possible that people could be working after hours, but it's after hours.
Gotcha.
So everybody who had a security badge took their security badges home. So there's not anything there.
Fascinating. Okay.
But we can't see anybody on the first or second floor, right? Other than the Hydra agents. That's all we see in the security cameras.
Correct. Yeah. You only see Hydra agents.
Okay.
Can we see into the basement?
Yes. And there does not appear to be anybody in the basement either.
Okay.
All right. So likely no hostages unless there's anything like that we need to investigate. Yeah. Let's check out the tiny room.
All right, so Lucas wants to go check out room number 5.
Sounds good.
So you walk around to room number 5. It's unlocked. No big deal there. And it's a broom closet.
Nice.
There's lots of cleaners. There's brooms and mops and absolutely nothing that you wouldn't expect in a closet where all the cleaners go.
Now, is there anything we can clean? Because, Captain America kind of a neat freak. I mean, do we have any spills or anything like that?
It's immaculate in this building.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
It's immaculate in this building.
Okay. Well, Rocket, tell us about the plan that we have for 15. I like that plan.
Okay, so we know, looking up at floor number 2, right, that we've got 2 Hydra agents in 7 in the cafeteria that are robbing the vending machines.
Yes.
We got people that are rummaging through things on the room between the number 11 and the bathroom, correct?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, and then in the big area next to the elevators, there are two Hydra agents. I mean, they don't look super vigilant. Like, they don't look like they are prepared for anything, but they don't look like they're, it looks like they're just chatting.
Now, do we know if any, I forget, 10, is there any agents in 10 that we know of?
No.
Okay.
There are just these 6.
Okay.
You can see everything in every room. You have seen everything in every room.
Okay.
You only see these 6.
Gotcha.
And it's pretty obvious that there's not like anybody hiding.
Gotcha.
The only thing you don't know about is the 3rd floor.
Gotcha. Well, the key is, and like I said, I'm going to confirm with Rocket. In the elevator, we're going to get up above where the towel is at, or whatever the door where the shaft is at. We're going to wait up there. We're going to go take the elevator up to the 2nd floor. And then when it opens up, we're hoping that the 2 will come to the elevator, and then we want to drop and take them at a surprise.
Let's do it.
All right. That sounds fantastic. So
we thought so too, Ricky.
Yeah, we felt really good about it.
Let's see. So you guys are going to go hit the button for the elevator?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we're going to jump up in the above.
So the elevator arrives. The elevator, it's going to be the first elevator to the left. That one's the one that's going to arrive for you.
All right.
And so you're going to climb up into up above where the cables are.
Yeah.
Correct.
Actually, this is a 3-floor, so it's probably a piston. So there's probably not anything up there.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, I actually know a tiny bit about elevators.
Yeah,
I don't know
apparently.
why that's, man, I don't know whether that's be impressed or find that very disturbing.
Right?
Okay.
That's where he hid the body.
That's right.
So I'm going to say that's fairly easy for both of you. You're both fairly acrobatic.
Yes.
Rocket is small. He is a small character.
Yes.
So
I can be easily tossed.
So Captain America can easily lift you up there, and Captain America is pretty acrobatic, so he can easily jump up there. So are you going to close the tile, or are you going to leave it open?
I think, well, to get him on the drop, good question.
Yeah, I think we leave it open. We're just waiting for them to come in.
Yeah.
These are regular
Okay.
Hydra agents. I don't think they're looking up.
No.
Okay. All right. So you do that, and so I'm assuming you hit the button for floor 2 before you hop up there, Captain.
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay. So the elevator begins to go up, and you hear the ding, and you hear the doors open,
Yes.
and you don't hear anything, but you do see. Suddenly, you see the head of one of the Hydra agents, like, stick his head into the elevator doorway. Mm-hmm. Like he's trying to figure out why the elevator just opened, and he's not sure what's going on.
Now, I don't know if this is more of a Batman move or not, but, Cap is pretty strong. Grab his head, pull him up.
Yeah.
And then take him out.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. Real fast.
You're going to try to grab him. Okay, so
Pull him up, and that way the other agent doesn't see. So
okay, let me think through this. Because there are actually rules for grappling and things like this. So I want to make sure I do it right.
Yeah, is that little hole close enough to where we could pull off that maneuver and pull
that's
him
a good question. Or just peeking his head in.
I'm going to say he's tall enough and Captain America's arms are long enough.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Now I
like
just
it.
need to figure out what you guys have to roll to see if... So, Captain America, you have asked an interesting question.
Yes.
Can you grab him? Yes.
So handsy, Captain America.
Now, that is considered in this is part of the rule set
Yes.
that every time it's your turn,
Yes.
and right now I'm going to give you guys kind of a free turn here because I'm going to say this was a surprise. Usually we would roll for initiative.
Gotcha.
And we would find out who was going to go first.
Oh, okay.
So, but in this instance, I'm going to let you guys have a bit of surprise. But every time you have a turn, you basically can do 3 things at the same time.
Yes.
You can move, you can do an easy action, and you can do a standard action. Now, a move is exactly what it sounds like. You can literally move your character. And if you look at your character sheet, you can find out exactly how far you can go on a turn. An easy action is to turn on a power, turn off a power if you have those kind of powers. Say something, say something to one of your other compatriots or to the enemy.
Yes.
You can grab a friend. So, like, if you wanted to grab Rocket for some reason, you could grab him. That's an easy action.
Okay.
You can interact with something. You turn the lights on, turn the lights off. Anything, things like that. Basic, simple things.
Basic things.
You pick up something small from the desk. Stand up if you're in a seated position or on the floor. So those are easy actions. Then there are standard actions. Now, standard actions would be like dodge, punch, attack, grab. In this instance, is a standard action. What this means is And because of the way the grab rules work,
Yes.
you're only going to really be able to do half of what you wanted to do.
Really?
Unless we bend the rules.
I also love that sentence, because of the way the grab rules work.
Yes.
It says that you can grab him
Yes.
if you have a successful roll.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you will have to roll for this.
Okay.
However, that's your standard action. You won't be able to then hit him.
Oh.
Mm.
And in order to continue to grab him, that is your continuing standard action.
Huh.
It doesn't appear to be a way to grab and punch unless you specifically have a power that says you can do that.
I gotcha. Okay.
Would it be like grab and throw?
Now, that is something you could do.
Or you
could
grab and I punch.
Yeah, that's what I was
so
thinking of that.
Scratch him in
Captain
the
America,
eyes.
Captain America could grab, Rocket could do something to him. So that's an
Give him
option.
rabies.
Yeah.
Captain America could grab him and then on his next turn throw him, and he would take damage when he hit whatever he hit.
Right.
Assuming he doesn't, roll some amazing and save himself
Yeah.
Can
hitting the wall.
Can a grabbed enemy attack? Or is he like subdued?
If he is,
And it looks like they can, but they just have trouble whenever they do. Especially if it's a ranged attack.
has trouble. Okay.
Yeah,
And,
ranged attacks against the character have trouble if you are grabbed.
Okay, so what that means is, so trouble, to make sure, just to clarify, there's an
define
edge,
trouble.
there's an edge, and there's trouble. And
Okay.
these are direct opposites. So when you roll your dice, you roll your dice.
Okay.
An edge means you get to pick one of your low dice and re-roll it to get a better roll,
Okay.
hopefully. And you take the better of the two. Trouble means you take the highest
Okay.
of your dice and re-roll it, and you have to take the lower of the two.
That's hot garbage.
Yes.
That
Yes,
is
yes,
that is the
yes.
difference between trouble and an edge. So yeah, it looks like actually that ranged attack, that is actually a reference to someone else.
Okay.
So if Captain America grabs him and Rocket attempts to hit the bad guy, Rocket has trouble, because if Rocket botches the roll, and a botched roll is when you roll all ones, if you did a botched roll, you would actually hit Captain America instead of the target.
Interesting.
Oh.
Or this is an interesting extra rule.
Yes.
Or
That's
Rocket
funny.
could say, I don't care who I hit. And then he's going to roll and he's going to hit somebody. And then it's a random decision as to which one of you gets hit, whether it's the bad guy or Captain America. But if you do that, he gets an edge, so he gets to re-roll one of his dice. Oh my gosh.
That is funny.
That's interesting.
It doesn't appear that there is a clear rule as to whether or not he can attack once he's grabbed. I
Okay.
am going to say it's going to depend on the roll.
Okay.
If Captain America rolls high enough, I'm going to say he can't. He doesn't get a move. If Captain America just barely makes it, then I'm going to say he probably gets an attack. But he's not going to be able to use his gun. You're going to be too close. He's going to have to use his fists, which seems to be the only other weapon. As far as you can tell, he only really has two things. He can punch you or he can shoot you.
Yeah.
Does Rocket has any technology where he can grab?
I have a reinforced
Mhm.
come here and find it. It gives me damage reduction versus bashing, but it doesn't do much in order to help me hit or punch.
I would say Rocket is technically a small character.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he probably wouldn't actually be able to reach him.
Well, now let me think. What would happen if Cap would drop down on top of him, on top of the agent, and take him out?
You would basically just do bashing damage against him.
Okay.
Which you could totally do that.
Yeah, and you are quite the basher.
And then if we're going to do that, then we will roll to see whether you hit him and what kind of damage you do.
And this is kind of our free turn because we're element of surprising them, right?
Yes, I'm going to give one of you, since it's there's a hole. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna only say one of you.
Okay, that's
one
good.
of you are basically getting a free turn.
I say Cap bashes him.
Bash. We'll
Are
do
we
the
going to do that?
bash. We'll do the bash.
All right. So, in order to do that, then Cap, you need to roll.
I need to roll
your
okay.
3d6.
Okay.
And this is going to be a. Where are my notes?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a fight roll.
Okay.
So you're going to roll.
Yes.
And then you're going to look at your might.
Look at my roll and look at my might. Okay.
Yes. And when your might modifier, you're going to add to whatever your roll is.
Okay. Yeah.
So go ahead and roll. And first of all, did you get a 1 on the Marvel die?
No, I did not.
Okay. What did you roll?
I roll a Marvel die 2 and a 5 and a 3.
So what's that all add up to?
That's
so you got 10.
We got 10. So
10 plus your might modifier.
Okay.
13.
Yes. So
you rolled a 23.
Yes.
And that is going to be a might versus agility. So you definitely beat his agility, and you definitely hit him.
Okay.
So you come crashing down on top of him.
Yes.
Next, you need to roll for the damage.
Okay.
So to roll damage, once again, you're going to roll your 3d6. Okay. And down below, you're going to see on your character sheet, you see where it says fight damage?
Yes, I do.
So your fight damage is 3d6, so whatever you roll,
yes,
plus 28 plus 4.
Gotcha.
And those are all modifiers that you got because of your level and what kind of character you are. Okay. And they're just basically it's just condensed all down so that you don't have to figure it out every time.
All right. So let's take a roll here. I have a Marvel 1.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, usually doesn't count too much on fight damage, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's not good. Okay. And I have a 5. And I have, I guess is this a line on top? Is that a 9 or a 6?
Well, you only have 6-sided dice, so
well, don't play with me like that. So it's a 6. So
what did you? So you rolled a 12.
Yes.
12 plus your modifiers,
which is 32.
Yes.
So that gives him a 44.
So you hit him for 44 points of damage.
Yes.
He is out.
Okay.
He is out. Like out.
Yes.
Now this is something I also mentioned the last time. There is an extra rule written in that says you guys can basically pull your punches. So even if you did so much damage you would have killed him,
yes,
you can just say, "Hey, we're not going to kill anybody."
Yeah.
So basically, they go right up to knocked out, and
yeah. We'll knock the guy out. I don't think Cap would kill anybody. All right. Talk to me about the one again, the Marvel one, because I thought it was a good thing, and then you had this.
It is a good thing generally.
Yes.
In this instance, since you're rolling for damage, it really doesn't add.
It doesn't add anything to it. Okay.
If it was during your attack, it would actually give you an extra bonus.
Oh, okay.
Like when I had
But
Lucas
that wasn't
roll.
but that wasn't an attack, was it?
No, that was your damage roll,
That
which
was
I
your
think
damage
means
roll.
it should be silent damage.
I think we should rewrite this book. Let's do that.
I'm going to say this wasn't silent.
Okay.
As the narrator. So you do come crashing down.
Oh, okay.
And you definitely, he is out cold. He is not going anywhere.
And I throw my shield and get the other one.
So
I can't do that, can I?
You now are in, you now see the other one. He
Yes.
definitely sees you.
Yes.
And now it is time for all of you to roll initiative. I also hope you will check out the bonus episodes that we are releasing on Fridays periodically over the summer. I'm joined by the hosts of The Reverend and the Reprobate, Lucas Pinkard and Dan Gibson, the host of Fangirling Over Jesus, Ashley Cox, the host of the Speaking Nerdy podcast, Mike Schilling, and the great BB Nate from Tatooine Sons podcast, as we do an actual play of the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game playtest. Check out the bonus episodes and each of their podcasts for lots of fun and inspiration. Well, that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, just click all those links down there, whatever they happen to be, and that way you will be informed every time we put out new content. And you can find all of our social links to our YouTube channel, and our online store at ChristianNerdsUnite.com. I do want to take a moment to encourage you to join us as a supporter on Patreon. We've changed all of our Patreon levels, and every level has great benefits and makes a huge difference in the ministry we're able to do. And it starts as low as $5 per month. Supporters will also get to hear exclusive stories of believers we are serving around the world through our ministry partners. To check it out or to partner with us, go to patreon.com/ChristianNerdsUnite or ChristianNerdsUnite.com and click on the support menu. And while I'm at it, I do want to thank our current Patreon supporters, Sim, Peter, Joe, Jared, Ryan, and our newest supporters, Jake, Dave, and John. Thanks so much for your support. You really are making a difference. Before I go, I do want to leave you with this blessing from Ephesians 3. I pray that out of his glorious riches he may strengthen you with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power together with all the Lord's holy people to grasp how wide and how long and how high and how deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. We'll see you next week. Blessings.